Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live in Apex Living. My name is Joe Dutkiewicz. I'm your leadership thought partner. We're going to talk about something that Lisa and I both did. This is Lisa Bosquez, and she's my business partner and wonderful friend. We ventured deep into the orange grove, well, at least 10 feet off the building. And we explored and picked. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that orange. That's a funky orange. You're going to say, well, that doesn't look like an orange. This is a Sugarbelle. We're going to talk more about that and life's lessons about this. How you can use this to help your leadership team. But look at this. This is a lemon, not a grapefruit. It's a lemon. We're going to talk about both of those in just a minute, but wanted just to set it up. Yesterday we talked a little bit about, the things that we do and how we can take lessons away and apply them to work that we do, to the things that we do, to the people we see, how we can represent and recognize people that are out there and put our arms around them, embracing. We were talking about the steamer, this big truck steamer is put on a semi bed and carried off over each set of 3 trees to protect them from citrus greening, which is wiping out a good portion of the crop. I forgot how much of the production, but it was like 30 million oranges have been reduced from the orange crop. So that's a lot of oranges when you consider what the production just in Florida is. It's a big hit. And we kind of talk about oranges. Oranges. Look at this. It's got a nice green top. We are amused by it because, one, the Sugarbelle has a nice little dome on it. Most of them do. Some of them are not that way, but they're all different sizes. It was surprising the range of sizes, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're told in our instructions that green on top is good, but green on the bottom is not. So we are looking to kind of lift them up and see, oh, okay, this one looks good. You could tell the colors, and you could see, oh, okay, this one really looks orangey compared to some of the other ones that were a little bit less, maybe yellowish orange, which ones to pick. And, all you'd have to do is bend it a little bit and snap it. It was amazing how you might look at this side here. Okay, so this side. What did you tell us about that side?
It was hurricane damage.
Hurricane damage. They were good to eat. They're not like citrus greening, which would be all brown or really rough on the exterior. This is a nice smooth exterior, but it just has some hurricane damage. So this, I said to Lisa, hey, this is a souvenir from Hurricane Irma.
Great.
It survived. They were untouched relatively because of the eucalyptus trees that they had around to break the winds that were gusting 80 to 100 plus miles an hour. So that was an interesting fact on how it bypassed this grove. And, the same thing we think about when we look at people, right? We may not like them from this side. We may say, oh, they're scarred or there's something wrong with them, right?
You could. And
you come into the workplace, you always find some kind of flaw in people.
It's easy. I mean, it's humbling to admit, I gotta say.
Well, you've seen it. You've seen people come into a difficult situation.
Yeah, I haven't just seen it. I think all of us, if we're honest, have done that. We've made judgments by people's apparel, by the way their face looks. Maybe their face is pocked. Maybe the crass talk that comes out of their mouth. And yet, one of the things that I've learned, I had to work with a person who had that crass talk, and I thought, how do you even survive in the workplace when you talk like that? But yet, once I got to know her, and that was, going beyond the exterior, and I got to know her as a person, beautiful individual, just an absolutely beautiful individual with a great heart. She was funny, she was kind, thoughtful, loving, hardworking. But it was the exterior that we had to get past.
Well, even on the exterior, one side can be all scarred. One side could be flawed. right? One side of ourselves, the external may be flawed or may not really show the true essence of who we are, but we may just need to look at them from a different side. You know, people are seeing them from this side. They're seeing themselves from this side. Sometimes it's the reverse. Sometimes people see how many times have people said, "Wow, Lisa, you look fabulous. You look, ecstatic." And what do you feel like?
Yeah.
You feel a little scarred. You feel a little sick. You're not feeling your full self. So, image from the outside can create divisions, create animosity. And as leaders, we need to look past that. We need to look past these things on the surface and look in, as you mentioned, Lisa.
Well, it gets even deeper.
Yeah.
Because what's inside the orange? We have sections.
Yeah, sections.
Inside the orange.
Ooh, yeah.
What's inside each section? If you peel the section apart, there's still little pockets within the pocket, right?
Yep.
So I think the same is true for us as people. A lot of times you're one way at work. Maybe the guard is up. And in order to understand the work performance that's happening, you almost have to understand, at least to some extent, what's going on the other side. There's another piece of that person's life. Maybe they're really struggling. Maybe a relative or a close family member, close friend is sick, or maybe they're having to help that person, get through some rough times, and that's showing in their work performance. Maybe they're tired and sluggish, or maybe they're coming off abrasive. But if we don't understand, if we don't take the time to know them as a person, okay, not just the person that we see at work, but a little bit more. If we don't take the time to show that we care, we don't get to see that full perspective, or at least a greater perspective, because I know a lot of people don't show their whole selves at work. And
well, that's a good point.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There are certain things we shouldn't have at work.
Well, I'm not saying filter yourself, but represent your true self and represent, so this orange grows and gets sweeter up to the point that you pull it from the tree, and then it goes down. But we as individuals, as people, can grow and develop and become even sweeter, become nicer, become more effective, become a better leader. Things are learned that go beyond just the shell that we have, right? So I thought this was a great thing with, the fact that we may also come in a little green into the job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, say hi. I saw some people flashing by and, say hi. Facebook doesn't tell us who's in. At least stop in, make a comment. Would you like an orange? Hey, here's a fact. 95% of the Florida citrus crop, of the oranges in particular, go to juice. Only 5%. So it's rare to find a U-pick grove that you can just go up and pull oranges from November to February. I mean, this is a great opportunity to have a great team activity, a family activity, to go and get, one with nature and pull some things. But we were in the store and we couldn't believe when we looked at the sign and said, lemons.
It's almost as big as your melon.
Yes, it is. There we go. Wow. Here, I'll put it on this side. See? It's huge.
Either that or you have a big head.
Yes. This is the bigger one. This is the Ponderosa Lemon variety. There was a Sunshine, if I remember. Sunshine was a little smaller. It was more of a grapefruit size. So I was surprised about this because in Michigan, we were used to grapefruits that came in sometimes this large, but we never saw a lemon this large. So it was kind of fun to do that. But you can see some things. Lisa, what stands out to you about the outside of this lemon?
It's very
different.
Bumpy.
Yeah, different from the lemons that we think about in the stores, and the small ones that are kind of smooth and just have the little two ends. But this was like a boulder.
Well, when I look at that, I also think, what's it going to be like inside? Is it going to be tough and, like over like it's been out there too long.
Right.
But as we learned about it, there's actually enough lemon juice in there for 2 pies. But people will take it, they'll quarter it, and juice it down. They use it however they want to use lemon, just like a normal lemon. But if it's too much for them, they'll put the juice in an ice tray and freeze it and save it. And
so there's a good lesson right there. As you're talking, I'm thinking about, well, leadership is knowing about resources that you have, right? So if this represented your team as a whole, so hey, one little orange, but we have a whole team of fruits here.
Yeah, there's a team right inside
there's
of
a
this
team.
orange.
Well, there's a team in there
it's
too.
It's a small one.
Yeah, it's a small team, but this is a larger team. And this team is all working together to hold this lemon together, holding in all the components. And as a leader, we can, cut this up and then take the resources that we need at that time. We don't have to say, well, I just need one quarter of this or 1/8 of this and throw it out, right? Leaders know how to take this whole lemon and make it effective in the team, to get the whole team working together, to make the team focus in on a common object, a common goal. As we talk about 2018, we're moving into that. And what do? In the corporate world, we go and set goals, we set objectives. We may be looking at performance. Okay, so how's your performance this year? Well, it may be blemished.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still good. It's still, there may be not the perfections. It may be bumpy our success this year, and we're going to look towards a better, more effective lemon, more effective team next year. Maybe we can smooth down some of the bumps that we've had along the way in our activities and our goals and what we've achieved during the year. And so we're looking to make a better smoothing lemon.
Okay, so you're talking about, I guess my big thought when you were saying smoothing out the bumps, is that a necessary thing, or could the bumps perhaps be a good thing?
Well, it does. Certainly, if you put it on a table, the bumps do slow it down, which may be good or bad, but you can decide which you want. I think the key factor here is the fact that you can have your goals set, but you can always exceed them. So if your goal is to have a small lemon and you can grow it to be a large lemon, you could take watermelon too. Remember those watermelons that were, or pumpkins that were huge, right? That needed a tractor to lift them up, a forklift to lift them up, right? So you can keep going. There's no limit as to what your size of your team can do, what performance they could do, what success they can have. Don't go for little unless you're an orange, and that's what you're out to get sweetness within a small product. But you can go for the full zest. There, lemon zest. Oh, I remembered this story where Lisa said to me, she was trying to top an idea that she had, this group activity where she was trying to put a straw through a potato. And she's talking about, how can I talk about Joe as a lemon? Now, we won't cover this again because one, it's been about 4 years ago, and I'm not sure she knows on the spot what she said about me as a lemon. Talking about the zest of life.
That was a good speech.
Yes, it was a great speech. Hi, Dee. Yes. Welcome. I'm glad you could join us this evening. Dee says, looking at there, you too. Even a baby is a person, not just a body. Yeah, very good. I like tangerines and lemons. Are you saying if life gives you a lemon, you make lemonade? Well, somebody said, actually, if life gives you a lemon, make meringue pie out of it. Two meringue pies out of this is unbelievable. So what some people, or the person we were talking to in the store, said, take half for a pie and the other half for lemonade.
There you go.
Then you have both all in one package.
There you go.
So thanks, Dee. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to all the others that have joined us either live or on rebroadcast, watching this, who knows when. But here's some, we thought this was a great opportunity to share the lemons and oranges that we picked this weekend, but also what can be taken away from these oranges. And we can talk, we can write a book about leadership lessons from the orange grove. But
so coming soon, Joe's going to get to work.
That's right. So these are the great opportunities to take what we can see all around us and look at how are we leading, how are we embracing people, how are we utilizing them to make to reach the goals of the organization, but reach individual goals, help them develop to their full potential, help them reach what they want to reach in life. Too often we allow people to just go into the workplace and we don't help them. We don't take them to the next level. We just leave them there and let them figure out their own path and what they need to do. And then we wonder why people aren't performing in the organizations. I've seen it. I mean, I've talked with many of my clients who face that daily. How are they going to get their team motivated? How are they going to get the fullness out of them that they know it's within them, but they need to convince, empower, embrace, and encourage. So that's the note for tonight. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back tomorrow evening because we're doing an evening series this week on lessons and other insights on how to get to your apex and beyond and help your team, your family, your organization, your community, your world become more effective, make a difference. Remember, transformation begins with me, with you, with each of you. If you transform yourself, if you build yourself, grow yourself, you're going to see a difference. Even in one element of just changing your attitude through the day, how contagious that might be. As Lisa would agree, you can change your attitude on a note, on a pivot, and boom, you can have a symphony playing, a beautiful piece versus da 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 da. We'll talk soon. Have fun.
Have a great night.
Bye.